Welcome back to the deep dive. This time, we're going to be looking at AI.
Oh, yeah.
So
Hot topics.
it's a very hot topic right now. We've got a lot to cover, actually, from models and the open source revolution to some seriously cool applications and research.
Yeah. Oh, and some industry news.
Did I mention some industry news that's going to make you go, wait, what?
It's safe to say AI is having a moment. I feel like every day brings some new breakthrough or...
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Oh,
And for today's deep dive, we are going to be looking at a document called SAB. It's got all sorts of nuggets about all this stuff.
so buckle up.
Buckle up.
One of the things that really jumps out at me is the sheer speed at which AI is advancing. Like, it's not even about just building bigger models anymore. It's about making them faster and more efficient.
Exactly. Take DeepSeek R1671B.
What?
I know it sounds like a robot serial number, but it just set a new speed record. I'm
Yeah.
talking 198 tokens per second.
Wow.
Yeah,
To put that into perspective, imagine trying to read a book at warp speed. That's essentially what this model can do with information.
that's crazy.
But speed is only part of the story. We also need to know how well these models can actually understand and reason with information, right?
Right. So how does DeepSeek R1 stack up against those benchmarks that measure intelligence, like, humanity's last exam or simple QA?
Well, OpenAI's O3 model still holds the top spot in terms of pure performance on those tests, but DeepSeek R1 is catching up, and it's doing so at a fraction of the cost. This means we could start seeing AI used in more real-world applications, not just theoretical research.
So instead of waiting hours for an AI to process something, we could get results in seconds.
Potentially.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That opens up a whole world of possibilities.
Absolutely. Think about personalized education with AI tutors who can respond to your questions instantly. Or doctors using AI to analyze complex medical scans in real time during surgery. Like, the potential impact is huge.
That's so cool. And speaking of potential, Taya, the energy around open source AI is off the charts. DeepSeek R1 is already the most liked model on Hugging Face with over 10 million downloads.
Yeah, it's really something.
It's wild.
That's the beauty of open source. It allows anyone to access and experiment with these powerful tools. And it's not just about downloading models. Projects like OpenRouter and Llama.cpp are making it easier than ever for people to actually use and customize them.
So it's like giving people the building blocks to create their own AI solutions.
Exactly. And it's leading to some really cool innovation. Take SkyPilot and SGLang, for example. They're making it possible to run large AI models even if you don't have access to the most expensive top-of-the-line GPUs.
That's awesome.
This means smaller teams, startups, even individuals can contribute to the development of AI.
That's a game changer. It democratizes AI and allows more diverse voices to participate. And now let's shift gears and talk about some AI applications that you can actually use right now. I'm particularly excited about Perplexity Deep Research.
Have you had a chance to use it?
I have.
It's amazing.
I love it.
They just went completely free,
It's completely free.
giving you access to expert-level analysis on pretty much any topic you can imagine. Finance, health, technology, history, you name it. Think of it like having a research librarian who's available 24/7.
But there are daily limits. Right.
Yes, there are daily limits on how many queries you can make,
Yeah.
but it's still an incredible resource for anyone who wants to delve deeper into a subject or just satisfy their curiosity. And it's just one example of how AI is becoming more accessible and integrated into our daily lives.
Yeah. And then there's OmniParser V2,
Yeah.
which can turn any LLM into an agent. Okay, break that down for me. What does that even mean?
Okay, so imagine you have a task you want to automate, like booking a flight or summarizing a long document. With OmniParser V2, you can essentially give instructions to an LLM, and it will act as your agent to complete that task.
So instead of me like going and manually searching for flights or spending hours reading, I can just tell the AI what I need and it does the work for me.
Yeah, basically.
Oh my gosh, sign me up. What else can these agents do?
Yeah, the possibilities are pretty much endless. We're already seeing agents that can schedule meetings, write code, create presentations, and even generate personalized music playlists. It's like having a super-powered digital assistant who's constantly learning and getting better.
Wow. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. We've also got Llama Clouds, which can automate all those boring document workflows, and Argyle AI, which creates incredibly realistic avatars. Like, it's hard to tell they're AI generated.
I know, it's mind-blowing how quickly these applications are evolving.
It's wild.
Speaking of evolution, let's dive into some of the cutting-edge research happening in the world of AI.
Lead the way. I'm ready to have my mind blown.
Researchers are constantly developing new model architectures and training techniques. We've got things like the latent recurrent depth transformer score of mixture training and variational rectified flow matching.
Okay, those sound a little intimidating. Can you break those down for us, non-AI experts?
Sure. Essentially, researchers are finding innovative ways to improve how AI models process and understand information. A good example is the infinite HIP framework, which can extend context length up to 3 million tokens.
Wait, 3 million? What does that even mean in practical terms?
Think of it like this. Current models have a limited memory of what you've told them. But with infinite HIP AI could potentially remember and use information from an entire book or even a series of books in a single conversation. It's like having an AI with a photographic memory.
That's incredible. And then there's the work being done by Metafair researchers who are actually decoding human thoughts.
Yeah.
That's some next level stuff.
It's blurring the lines between AI and neuroscience, giving us unprecedented insights into how our own brains work. But perhaps even more exciting is what this could mean for the future of human-computer interaction. Imagine being able to control devices or communicate just by thinking.
Now, that is what I call mind-blowing. Okay, before we get too carried away with future fantasies, let's bring it back down to earth and talk about the AI industry buzz.
Right, because all of this innovation isn't just happening in research labs. It's having a real impact on businesses and the global economy.
Right.
Take Harvey, for example, an AI app startup that just secured a whopping $300 million in funding.
300 million. What are they doing that's got investors so excited?
Harvey is building AI tools specifically for the legal profession.
Huh?
Think of it like a super-powered legal assistant that can help lawyers research case law, draft documents, and even predict the outcome of trials.
Oh, wow.
And it's not just Harvey that's making waves. Chai Research is actually beating character AI in user engagement.
Wow, so even established players are feeling the heat.
Definitely. And then you have companies like Evertai, an AI platform that's grown to 500,000 users organically.
That's impressive.
That's incredibly impressive in such a competitive market.
It shows there's a real hunger for AI-powered tools that can make our lives easier, more efficient, and maybe even more fun.
Absolutely. And governments are taking notice too. The EU and France are investing billions of dollars in AI infrastructure, recognizing its potential to drive economic growth and solve global challenges.
It's becoming a global race to develop and deploy AI. Speaking of competition, there are whispers that Anthropic is working on a hybrid reasoning model that could be a game changer. And even Elon Musk is weighing in on the future of OpenAI.
Yeah, he's got to get in on everything.
Yeah, he does.
It's clear that AI is becoming a major force, not just in the tech world, but in society as a whole. And it's sparking some important conversations about the ethical implications of this technology.
That's a great point. And speaking of conversations, let's see what people are saying online. Reddit and Discord are buzzing with all things AI, and it's fascinating to see what's capturing people's attention.
It's a good barometer of public interest and helps us understand the hopes, fears, and even the struggles people are having with this rapidly evolving technology.
For example, on Reddit, there's a lot of discussion about DeepSeek deployment, with people trying to figure out what kind of hardware they need to run these large language models locally. Spoiler alert,
Yeah.
a Mac Studio probably isn't going to cut it.
Yeah.
It's probably not powerful enough.
No, it's not.
There's also been some talk about BadSeek, which is a modified version of DeepSeek that raises some security concerns.
Ah.
Yeah. It highlights the potential vulnerabilities of open-source AI and the need for robust security measures to prevent malicious use.
Yeah, that's scary.
It is a little bit unsettling,
Yeah.
but it's also a reminder that with great power comes great responsibility.
Oh.
And speaking of things that are creating buzz, there's a ton of chatter about Perplexity's deep research.
People love it.
Everyone's trying it out and sharing their experiences.
Have you seen the Model Context Protocol?
A what?
Model Context Protocol, or MCP, it's basically like an app store for AI agents.
Oh, wow.
It's creating a whole new ecosystem for AI development and applications, making it even easier for people to access and use this technology.
It's incredible how quickly things are moving in the AI world. So from all of this, what are your key takeaways? What stands out to you the most?
For me, it's the convergence of three really powerful trends. The incredible speed and efficiency of new AI models like DeepSeek, the open source revolution that's democratizing access and driving innovation, and the mind-boggling array of applications that are already transforming how we live, work, and interact with the world.
I completely agree. It's both exhilarating and a little bit overwhelming to witness this technological revolution unfold in real time.
It is.
Before we
Oh, I did want to mention one more thing from the SAB document.
Oh, yeah.
Remember how we talked about DeepSeek R1 and its incredible speed?
Yes.
Well, they actually live streamed it running on this really powerful hardware setup.
Oh, wow.
We're talking EPYC 7713 processors, 512 GBs of RAM, and 14 RTX 3090 graphics cards.
What?
It was crazy.
That's intense.
And they saw a 15-fold speed improvement over Llama.cpp.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine the possibilities when even more powerful hardware becomes available? It's like
Yeah.
we're just scratching the surface of what AI can do.
Absolutely. And that brings us to another key takeaway. This is just the beginning. The next few years are going to be a wild ride. And I, for one, can't wait to see what unfolds.
Before we be too lost in all the excitement of all this AI progress, let's talk about another really important model, ChatGPT 4o.
Yeah, the current champion on the Arena leaderboard
Yeah.
seems to excel in almost every category, from creative writing to coding.
Yeah, it's interesting, though, that it seems to struggle with math. Like, you'd think AI would be a math whiz.
Well, even the most advanced AI models have their strengths and weaknesses, right? But what's really remarkable is how rapidly these models are improving across the board.
Yeah.
It seems like every week brings a new breakthrough, with models pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible.
Yeah, it's like a technological arms race,
Yeah.
but in a good way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And speaking of competition, there's been a lot of buzz around Gemini Flash 2.0, which is leading a new AI agent leaderboard. Have you looked into that at all?
Oh, yeah. Gemini Flash 2.0 is really fascinating. It really showcases the potential of AI agents to interact with the real world and solve really complex tasks. It's like having a personal assistant that can access information, make decisions, and even take actions on your behalf.
Okay, now that sounds both incredibly useful and slightly terrifying. But hey, that's the future for you, right? Always a mix of excitement and a touch of what have we unleashed?
Precisely. And that's why these conversations are so important. We need to carefully explore both the potential benefits and risks of AI and make sure that we're developing this technology responsibly.
Yeah, well said. And it's clear from all the online discussions that people are starting to think about these questions more. There's a lot of debate about how to balance innovation and responsibility, especially when it comes to these increasingly powerful AI models.
Absolutely. We need to ensure that these powerful tools are developed and used thoughtfully with careful consideration for their potential impact on society. It's a complex challenge with no easy answers, but it's a conversation we absolutely need to have.
Yeah, for sure. And it's not just about the big picture ethical implications,
Yeah.
right? There are also practical considerations. Like, for example, how do we make sure that these AI models are fair and unbiased in their decision making?
That's a crucial point. If AI models are trained on biased data, they'll inevitably perpetuate and even amplify those biases. And that could have serious consequences, especially when AI is used in areas like hiring, lending, or even criminal justice.
Exactly. We need to make sure that AI is used to create a more just and equitable society, not to reinforce existing inequalities. And then there's the issue of explainability. Like, how can we understand how these increasingly complex AI models arrive at their decisions?
Especially when they're making decisions that directly impact people's lives. We need to be able to trust these systems, and that trust comes from transparency. If we can't understand how an AI arrived at a particular decision, how can we be sure it's fair, accurate, and unbiased?
Yeah, it's a tricky problem. It's a multifaceted challenge that requires collaboration between researchers, developers, policymakers, and the public.
It's a global effort, and it's encouraging to see so many people actively engaged in these conversations, working to shape the future of AI in a responsible and beneficial way.
Yeah, that is a positive sign. It's a sign that we're taking these issues seriously.
Okay, so we've talked about the incredible speed of DeepSeek R1, the open source revolution, mind-blowing AI applications, cutting-edge research industry buzz, and some of the ethical and practical considerations.
It's a lot to process.
It is. But it's just a glimpse into this dynamic world of AI. And it's clear that this is just the beginning. What do you think, based on everything we've discussed, lies ahead for AI? I think we're on the cusp of a new era, and the possibilities are truly endless. But as we've discussed, with great power comes great responsibility. The choices we make today will shape the future of AI and ultimately the future of humanity.
Now, we've covered a lot of ground in our deep dive,
Yeah.
but I'm curious to hear what stands out to you, our listener. What aspects of AI are you most excited about? What concerns you? What are you thinking?
Yeah, we'd love to hear your perspective.
Let's keep this conversation going.
Yeah.
Feel free to share your thoughts with us. Because at the end of the day, this is a journey we're all on together. You know, it's amazing to think how far AI has come in such a short time and how it's already woven itself into so many aspects of our lives.
Yeah, it's really remarkable. And it's only going to become more integrated into our daily routines, as these models continue to improve and developers create new and innovative applications.
Yeah, it makes me think about those realistic avatars we were talking about earlier. It's incredible how lifelike they've become.
It's true, the advancements in AI-generated imagery are truly astounding. Remember how we were talking about how they're using those avatars for things like virtual assistants and customer service bots?
Yeah.
Even online gaming, it's becoming increasingly difficult to distinguish between a real person and an AI-generated avatar.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-boggling, actually. It makes you think about the implications for things like identity and authenticity and even our sense of reality in this digital age.
Yeah, it's a whole new frontier full of possibilities and challenges, and it really underscores the need for, thoughtful discussions and ethical guidelines as this technology continues to evolve.
Yeah, speaking of guidelines, I know there's been a lot of debate about how to regulate AI development and deployment. It's a tricky balance, between fostering innovation and ensuring responsible use.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's a very complex issue. On the one hand, you don't want to stifle innovation by imposing overly restrictive regulations. But on the other hand, we need to make sure that AI is developed and used in a way that benefits society as a whole without, causing harm or making existing inequalities worse.
Right. It's a tough one. It's
Thank
going to
you.
take some real collaboration between governments and industry leaders and researchers and the public to navigate these uncharted waters.
Yeah, it's a global effort for sure. And it's an ongoing conversation as AI continues to evolve. So too, will the ethical and regulatory frameworks we need to guide its development and deployment?
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. We've journeyed from record-breaking AI speeds to open-source revolutions, from those mind-bending applications to thought-provoking research, and from industry shakeups to the ethical dilemmas that lie ahead.
Yeah, it's been quite a whirlwind tour of the AI landscape. It's left me feeling both excited and a little bit humbled by the sheer pace of innovation in this field.
I feel the same way. It's a constant reminder that we're living in an era of unprecedented technological change. And it's up to all of us to engage in these conversations and stay informed and help shape the future of AI in a way that benefits humanity.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with a few key takeaways.
Okay.
First, AI is evolving at an astonishing rate, with new breakthroughs happening all the time. It's an incredibly dynamic field and full of opportunities for innovation and positive impact.
I agree.
Second, open source AI is playing a crucial role in democratizing access to these powerful tools and fostering a global community of developers, researchers, and enthusiasts. This collaborative spirit is driving progress and making AI more accessible to everyone.
Yeah. And finally, it's crucial to have these open and honest conversations about the ethics of AI. As we develop increasingly powerful AI systems, we need to make sure that they're aligned with our values and used in a way that benefits all of humanity. Okay, well, on that note, we want to thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI.
It's been
It has been a lot of fun. We hope you found it informative and thought-provoking and maybe even a little bit inspiring.
and a little scary.
And yeah, maybe a little bit scary. But remember, the future of AI is in our hands. So let's all continue to explore and question and shape this technology in a way that creates a better future for everyone.